Welcome back to a new video of Karma Adventures. That was such a cool intro.
It was
That was such Today, we are going to give you 10 things that you need to know before visiting Osaka. And these are things that we want you guys as first timers to make sure that you do them so that you can enjoy and have such an amazing time in Osaka as we did. Let's get into it.
What's going on with you today?
I don't know.
First thing, if you know anything about Japan, you know that hotels in Japan can be way more expensive than you'd think. So in Osaka, what we would recommend is staying outside of the city center. And I know it might be a little bit further away, but you get to save the money where you can spend on other things like activities and food.
And if you think about it, it's your first time in Osaka. How much time you're going to be spending on the hotel, which are paying 60, 70, maybe even £100 per night.
But regardless of your budget, the most essential thing is to make sure you're staying close to a metro station, because that's going to allow you to get anywhere in Osaka, but also to day trips in the outskirts.
We did that and it took us about an hour to get from our hotel to Osaka City Center, and then we spent the whole day there. It was absolutely perfect and we got to spend less on the hotel.
I have to be honest, our hotel in Osaka was amazing. We even did a reel about it on Instagram and people were just asking for the location. So to save you guys the time, we're already gonna leave the link in the description so you can see it for yourself.
This links very nicely into the second point, which is transport. We use the metro so many times and we highly recommend that if you visit Osaka, this is your main method of transport because it can be more affordable than taxis, but it can also be way more efficient because you avoid all the traffic.
I do have to say that at first, when we first looked at the transport, we were like, oh my God, what do we do? Everything is in Japanese. But we quickly discovered that the machines do have the English option. And from there, it was super easy to navigate the transport every time we had to go.
And to be fair, when we first used it, a gentleman helped us purchase our ticket. People in Japan are very kind, so do not hesitate to ask someone for help if you need it, because I'm pretty sure, I would put my hand on my chest, they will most likely help you.
Something you do need to know if you're going on public transport is there are certain common things you just need to accept.
Like unwritten rules.
Pretty much. So you're supposed to be quiet on the train. In fact, when we first entered the train, nobody was talking except us.
It's crazy how packed this train is, but how quiet it is. There's not one single soul speaking in here.
Yeah, except you, so stop talking.
So you're not gonna hear the person behind you, oi, oi,
Or somebody
let's go to the pub tonight, oi.
Watching reels, TikTok, non-stop out loud. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's that kind of written rule that it's meant to be very quiet, respectful, but also a lot of people are sleeping. This is the perfect time for some people that are going into work or coming back to take their nap.
And please don't be one of those people that litters, because Japan is so clean. The public transport is spotless.
It's
Eat
impeccable.
off the floor.
Yeah, it's impeccable. So what happens if you've paid for a certain stop and you don't get off at that one specifically? Well, in Japan, there's a very cool system that is a fare adjustment. So once you are coming out the station, if you use your ticket, it won't let you out. So they have like a little office on the side and they will happily adjust it. So it's not like you are doing anything wrong. We did it all the time and you know, it's like a service.
It's normal, but that's because we bought paper tickets. If you do have the Suica card and things like that, you just put it in this machine that says fare adjustment in English and it will calculate the right amount, whether you paid less or more. But a top tip that's absolutely gonna save your life navigating the transport in Osaka is Google Maps. It was our best friend. Every time we went out, we would put where we want to go and it would tell us exactly which trains we need to catch, what's the stop number,
What's
and
a
even
platform?
yeah, and even how much it would cost us. So we always knew what price to expect. For one person, of course, it tells you, but you always know how much you should be paying. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, how much time do you actually need to spend in Osaka? We did say we spent about a week to 10 days, but that's because we also had to do some filming and editing. But what we would recommend for you guys is about 5 days, especially if you want to do day trips, which we're gonna touch on slightly later.
And I'd say 5 days is already touching the tops. I would suggest though, if you want to know what to visit in Osaka, it doesn't matter if it's your first time, if you've already been there, we have created an amazing travel guide with a lot of essential tips, landmarks that you must visit, and also
hidden gems.
And one of our favorite things, food. things that you need to try when visiting Osaka, make sure you check the link in down the description where you can get your Osaka travel guide.
And for the first 20 buys, we're giving you guys a 15% discount, but also a chance to win a £25 voucher for Get Your Guide that you can spend in your trip to Osaka.
Can I buy it?
No.
So unfair, man. Osaka.
Osaka was the first city we visited in Japan, a country that it was a dream come true visiting it.
And we had a question. Is it a safe country? Is it a safe place to visit? If you have kids, especially, or if you are a solo female traveler, this will be a question that you will be asking yourself. We don't want to generalize, but the experience that we had was amazing. We felt extremely safe. If we had left our phone or forgotten our phone in somewhere, we would have gotten it back without a doubt. It's not.
It would still be there probably when we come back to it.
It's not one of those countries where you think you'll be robbed. There may be pickpockets. We don't know.
It's normal, but we didn't feel like it was the case. We see a lot of people carrying the backpacks in front of them, but it wasn't for the purpose of somebody might pickpocket me. It was actually for a purpose of respect and like not to smack somebody with your bag and occupy space, so you keep it in front of you.
Yeah,
so that's something we felt.
And you can you can see your bag, and especially in the trains, is something that you do. But yeah, we walked at night as well. Honestly, it's probably one of the safest countries out there in the world. So don't worry, be happy.
But always bear in mind to be cautious and aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
We're not saying go there and look stupid and be like, oh, it's amazing, I love Japan.
Yeah, don't start waving thousands of yens.
Yeah. Just like we said before, Google Maps is an essential app for your trip, but also Google Translate will be much needed in Osaka. And that's because the level of English is not that
It's not bad.
common. It's just not widely spoken, let's put it that way.
It's not bad, but I don't think you can go a day comfortably speaking English with anyone.
I think that they tend to speak more in Japanese with you. It doesn't matter if you start speaking with them in English, they will return in Japanese.
We got that so many times, and our face was, yeah.
Just smile and wave, boys, smile and wave.
2 words that you want to learn when you visit Osaka and just in general Japan are arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato. Please don't say it. It's
Arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu. It's just basically saying thank you very much. But they don't add it just to the end of that. They just call people gozaimasu, gozaimasu.
Yeah.
They actually get really excited and be like, gozaimasu. I don't know what they say in response to it, but they sound really excited.
And just to quickly touch back on the Google Translate app, they have a feature where you can bring out your camera, you take a picture of something, and it translates what's written. So this is very handy if you go to a restaurant and you're looking at the menu, you can take a picture of it, and if it can read everything, it will translate everything to your language. For the 6th point, we want to touch on one of the landmarks that you must visit if you go to Osaka, this being the Osaka Castle. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful place. We also got to see it during Sakura season with all the cherry blossoms, the plum blossoms. It was beautiful. But as I said before, if you want to know many other places to visit in Osaka, make sure you check our travel guide. But why are we touching on Osaka Castle?
Well, if you've been to Osaka before, you probably don't know this, but as of April 1st, 2025, there was a huge price increase. And I'm not saying it's expensive, I'm just saying that the price doubled. For an adult entry, we paid 600 yen because we went before the price increase. But from now, you have to pay 1,200. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, if you are watching this video, it doesn't really matter because you have the price increase.
You missed out.
No, imagine. It's something
Sorry.
you can't really change or
You can't
do.
change, but just want to make you aware of this, especially if you've been before and you're like, no, I paid 600 yen.
Is it worth going into the castle then? The only reason why we would recommend going into the castle is to get the perfect 360 viewpoint that you get from the top of the castle, which I'd say is one of the best ones. But it's up to you. I mean, there's a lot of history in the castle, a lot of samurai history. So if you want to learn about that, may as well go in.
And we'd also recommend it for the stamps, which we're gonna talk to you about it at the end of the video.
Little spoilies.
No spoilies. Next to the Osaka Castle, there's a building called Miraiza. And inside there, as you go in, you turn right. There's gonna be a ninja throwing star experience. And I can say, I was terrible at it, so I was a bit embarrassed, but watching Max, he was like a true ninja.
I feel like a ninja. We had a crowd behind us. There was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's why I went red. I was a bit embarrassed. But Max, he was like showing off. Everybody was like, wow! The Osaka Castle is the more traditional historical landmark that you must visit. But if you want to add a little bit of spice and entertainment to your trip, you need to go to Universal Studios Japan or Round 1 or both.
Yeah, if you can, both.
We went to both.
Universal Studios Japan is an amazing place to see the Harry Potter world, the Nintendo world. We're not really going to touch too much in it because we've done many videos about it.
But Round 1 is a place that a lot of people don't know about. It's basically an indoor entertainment hub with 7 floors or more.
Yeah, it's got infinite games and it's a place where you can do, for example, something that I absolutely loved is the baseball
batting cage.
So it's all automatic, but you've got many other things like shooting, darts, arcade games,
tennis.
Yeah, if you want to play infinite arcade games for just one fixed price, this is a place that we recommend you going. For the 8th point, we want to touch on something that we touched previously, which is the day trips. Luckily, Osaka is surrounded of beautiful locations, and thanks to its amazing transport, it makes it very easy and very simple to go on day trips. We would highly recommend, if you have the chance and the time, to try and visit Kobe. Obviously, I don't need to explain that that's where one of the best meats, if not the best meat in the world is.
I didn't know, to be fair.
You've also got Kyoto, beautiful location, very cultural.
And a third one that we would recommend is Nara. You've probably seen on social media, everybody feeding the deer or somebody being attacked by the deer.
It's not the typical deers, they're quite interactive with humans.
And they bow to you. Whilst you're in one of those day trips, the best thing you could do is rent a kimono for the day. We did it in Kyoto and it was such a cool experience. At first we felt a bit awkward, like we were the only ones wearing the kimono, and then we arrived to like the touristic area and everybody was wearing a kimono.
It's a very cool experience, and I think you actually get to immerse yourself and put yourself in the shoes. You get it?
Literally?
Literally in the shoes of the people in Japan, and I think it's a good tradition. You also get to take pictures with the kimonos, which we did.
Amazing pictures.
It's really cute.
Max was like, I want to get married in kimonos. I thought, no.
When I saw Caro with a kimono, I thought we were getting married and I didn't even know. When I saw Caro, I just felt like we were getting married.
It was a really wholesome experience. The last 2 things are more of fire tips and things that people don't really know. We did mention about the stamp book and you're probably thinking, what the hell are they talking about? And this is a literal book where you can stamp all around Japan. And when I say stamp, I mean the most beautiful, I hope you can see this, the most beautiful stamps of landmarks, train stations.
So in Japan, it's very common, and I think it's become part of the touristic world to have stamps. So for example, in the Osaka Castle, there'll be a stamp related to Osaka Castle. I don't know, different landmarks. I'm not going to start mentioning all of them, but we got so many, and it's such a great way to just take a free memory back from that specific location.
And in some places they do have the paper there, but it's not in all of them, so you don't want to have to just randomly stamp your hand like.
Yeah, so we got in a train station, we got this one, and very cool stamp, one of the best ones. And then another train station. I think we can say that all the train stations will most likely have a stamp for you.
A lot of people did ask us where we bought our book. We bought it in a 7-Eleven.
It was very cheap, and don't get us wrong, it's not a dedicated book or notebook for stamps. We just...
a pocket-sized book, we would say.
It's just something cute, easy to carry.
I have to say though, our book is not the greatest because it does have lines, so try and go for a blank notebook so that the stamps can pop out more.
If you want to be like a pro, when you are stamping on your notebook, make sure you do 1 page yes, 1 page no. In case the ink is very strong, it will most likely penetrate through and that may ruin the next stamp that you do.
And the last one is having cash in hand is super helpful. You're probably gonna end up with a bunch of coin doughs, but we do have a way to solve that, which is...
When you go to convenience stores or even in the train, you will have a machine where you can input the coins. All the time, to make sure we had small change, we grabbed all the coins, put them in the machine, and it's just gonna give you smaller change. I don't know.
It's just gonna add up to the price that you have to pay. And then if you have like 1,000 left, you put the 1,000 coin, but it's just gonna give you less coins, like bigger coins than you had. We had so many ones and they were so heavy and just carrying too much.
And then once we discovered this trick, we started doing it.
We did it every single time.
Well guys, that's been our 10 things that you need to know before visiting Osaka. If you are watching this, it's because I imagine you are visiting Osaka. So we hope you have an amazing time. We hope that you enjoy your trip as much as we did.
And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please do us a favor and drop a like, subscribe, write a comment.
And as always,
stop waiting and start living!